Hey tubers, Bart coming at you with a mail day. Probably slightly overdue, but a rare mail day in that there isn't a PSA slab in the whole bit. That is exceedingly rare for me, but I got some cool stuff. Little mix, maybe future PSA slabs if the price ever comes down. And I feel like I've been saying that forever. PSA put out a post earlier this week, gave you the little snippet, that little sliver of hope. Economy's coming back, stay tuned. Comes out 2 days later and it's $50 a pop. So all it is we don't have to try to win the lottery at 12 Eastern time and wait in a waiting lobby until we get let in. Funny part of that is I won one of those finally, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. A couple days more than 2 weeks ago. And just on Monday, finally sent that in. I won it at 20 cards, but you don't have to take all of them. So I submitted 17. I just couldn't get myself to submit that many cards at 50 bucks. It came down to a last couple and I was just like, that's not a $50 sub worthy. So sent those in. So what are the odds? As soon as I get around to finally doing that and finally winning, 2 weeks later, I could have done it on any given day with no rush, none of that stuff. But that is a crazy price point. So hopefully that comes down. I'm very hopeful of an economy 20 bucker, 25 or something like that. It's still a lot, Started doing this, I think, when it was $5.50. But it is what it is. But I hope there's a price point down there. I'd be happy to wait, a year or whatever it is. But without a lower price point, you really just can't sub much PC stuff. You can't have, you can't do personal collection based PSA set registries, which is what got me going in most of this, right? You just would have to sit on your cards for 5 or so years and wait till you figured out which one was the monster if it got the good grade, and then just sit on a pile of raw. That's just not my collecting style currently. So anyway, that's the current status of what's going on there, but we'll get into some cards. Passing the torch from 2019 at Panini. This is the Patrick Willis out of 35. I've got the Deebo Samuel out of 35 already. And there's a Kittle out there as well. I'm not willing to pay the price that's on the two that are out there, so hopefully more pop up or whatever. But I do love to collect my inserts where I can get multiple star players and legends from the team. My first card of Josh Bell in a Nats uniform. So pretty cool. That is Finest Prism Refractor out of 35. And just a fantastic looking card. First baseman that is killing it this year for us. He did pretty well last year, but did not hit for any type of average or anything like that. So it was just solid at first base, which was nice. He brought some youth to the position, as Zimmerman was going out, but now he's been messing around with 340 batting, hitting home runs, leading the team in RBI, and he's above 20, I think, right now. So doing well. So happy to finally get one of those, and there's quite a number of other Nationals players I can get that aren't in too high demand, so I can get the same out of 35 card. Almost forgot that I got this because it took them a while to send it to me, but Terrell Owens from 99 Playoff. I think this one's called the Silver. I have the Jerry Rice. That's red out of 200. This is the Silver die cut out of 100. So pretty cool. Slightly thicker card. And what I mean by that, it's probably like a 70 point, 55 point maybe, as opposed to a standard 35 point, but pretty cool. Don't see those two pop up too often. every once in a while lately, I've been searching Mr. National just to see if there's some cards that I'd like to add to the PC, but not huge hobby stuff, and I've got a fair enough of his cards already. But since my last sub, I did not get his 08, or excuse me, 07 Topps base graded very well. It came back in an 8, so I went looking, and his chrome popped up with a different pose. Looks real sharp, and then, you know, $3 or $4 for this beautifully centered refractor. This would get a 10 out of 10 just about every day. So that's pretty cool. It will never get subbed more than likely, but still a great looking card. There are 2 brand new Topps Living Nationals this year. I need to get some new magnetics, so this isn't in one yet. I think my stockpile's run out for the 35 pointers, but Josiah Gray, up and coming promising pitcher, doing well. Got a winning record this year on an absolute shit team, so can't beat that. And Josh Bell has one this year too, so nice. And happy that people still buy those in bulk, because then they pass the savings on to me and I can get it for like $7 or something. I do have a decent sized Triple Threads PC, and I have been trying to get the ones out of 9s, especially on the baseball side, the ones out of 9s, because they're gold, they look nice, and they have a preponderance of nice patches. And this one is no different. So from 2021, Victor Robles, just filthy patches there. Lead off results, it says. Number, what do we got? 4 out of 9. And it says in 21 starts in that role in 2020, he batted .306, 4 homers, and 12 RBI, 5 stolen bases. And just 21 starts. So he has been struggle bus. Well, he was struggle bus all of last year. And he towed the line. His defense is legit. He covers a lot of ground in center field, but his batting average is barely 200. But this year, God, knock on wood, he's turned the corner, and he hit 260 something at one point, and I think he's floating at 240, and we will take that. If he's hitting 240 with his speed and his defense in center field, we're going to call that a win. So, beautiful card. It was a little bigger than the slot, so I kind of had to force it in there just a smidge, but it ain't never getting graded and never getting removed from that. So, great looking card. Speaking of Triple Threads, when you see this card, a card like this pop up, you question yourself, well, if I don't pick that up, you know, am I really the collector that I say I am? So, kind of just had to. I had a 27 Triple Threads from 2010, the Joe Cool. Typically, these Triple Threads, especially these all-timers, they just get listed for stupid, obnoxious money as if they have no intention of selling it whatsoever. This one was very reasonable, and it was or best offer, and so I started haggling and got it, I don't know, another 12 to 15% knocked off of it. And I just won a giant card at an auction. I got the notification on my phone, so I'm going to have a nice card to show you next week. I should not be picking up cards like that right now, but sometimes you see them. Just wanted a raw one of these. So 10,000 yarder there, LeSean McCoy. Rookie card from 09 Chrome. Interesting story on this one. This is 95, so they didn't have Topps Chrome yet until 96. So this is the first Chromes. They were playing with it in an insert, but I bought a Steve Young Atomic Refractor from 96 Bowman's Best. Got a good deal, too good of a deal to even pass up, even though I already had the card. It was just like, I can't let it go for that cheap. It's an Atomic. Steve Young doesn't always get the love he should, but that one, the price that it was just ridiculous. And so then, I don't know, 4 or 5 days later or something, I'm cruising, and again, I'm looking for matching inserts that I already got. Well, I got the Ricky Waters and the Jerry Rice of this already, and I saw this one, and I checked it out. No real intention of subbing it, but I checked it out, and I noted it was in a screw down. I saw some scuffs on the case. I looked at the centering and everything, and the next day, I bid on this thing 10:30 at night, $2 bid, $2.50 or something like that. And then next day, I come home from work, I open the mail, and this card is staring at me in the face. And I'm like, I haven't bought this card yet. It seemed to me like 5 minutes ago that I had just clicked a bid on this. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's not even like a similar card. This is the same thing. Like all the little specs and everything. It was this weird deja vu moment, and I was totally dumbfounded. And so I hit the auction that I bid on. Finally, went back inside, did all that crap. And I was like, hey, I don't know how you have this auction running, because I just got this thing in the mail. And then I was like, did I get something else from this seller? And that's where I backtracked and found out that apparently he sent me this instead of the Atomic. Super responsive, and said, keep it. And they said, we'll send you the other card too and refund your money. Which means I was getting 2 cards for $0 and all that. I'm not holding my breath on that, because he refunded me with the quickness. I have this card in hand. So they're under no obligation to send me that card. And eBay wouldn't be holding them to that or anything like that. So I'm not expecting that Atomic to show up in the mail, but got that card, I guess, for free in a very roundabout way. Some action-packed 24 karat. Got this beautiful Jerry Rice. I need to get the Steve Young now that looks just like it. What year is that? That is 95. Action pack. Another 24 karat. Not matching, but also from 95. Just a sweet looking card. That's the Monday Night Football version. This is out of 10. I got another one out of 10 already. I got the Bosa out of 10. Hoping to find some others. But the Trey Sermon. I was bidding on this thinking it was Elijah Mitchell, so I kind of jacked up on that one, because this guy's probably not going to amount to much on our team, besides special teams or something like that. But the price was why I didn't stop to think too long about it. It was pretty good price for that player. And then another Mr. National here. The foil board out of 2019 that is numbered out of 162. You just stumble along a card like that and it says $2. I don't know how you don't say yes to that, right? And then one more pack. Got this 1997 Collector's Choice team set. Beat all to hell, but I do have a nice collection of team cards. And so I figured I'd pick that up because I didn't have that one. It's got a nice little checklist. There's a Jerry Rice, a T.O., Steve Young, and a bunch of other good ones in there. So that's what I got for you. Container's empty. Thanks for watching. We got a lot of playoffs going on, so check them out. Go Nationals, but it's not going well. Later.